It's Sunday. It's Sun. Is it Sunday? It's Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's Sunday. Or at least we're going to act like it is. I don't know.
It's Sunday.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Look at my taco guy back there. He's hanging out. That's one eyeball. What's happening, everybody? It's Sunday. Sunday live haul. Or at least we have like kind of half a haul because apparently you're not bringing anything to the table.
Nope.
You're not bringing anything to the table. What's up with that?
For another week. I got nothing. Sorry.
I'm Katie. This is Vikki, aka Victoria, aka quote, I got some sun yesterday, end quote, aka my fiance. Are you pretty excited that you got your little sunburn that's going to turn into a tan?
I'm super excited to have been out in the sun all afternoon yesterday. Yeah,
You
really can't see it in my face, but if you could see, you can't even tell. That's bright red. I'm a lobster.
Did you say bright red?
It's bright red.
Bright red. Yeah,
I'm a lobster right now.
You were pretty lobstery last night.
Yeah, I'll be fine by tomorrow. But
did you sleep comfortably?
No, it was not a comfortable night.
Oh man. Do you guys remember, like, I mean, I guess it depends on where you grew up. Everywhere they've got sunny days.
I was just going to say.
I know, right? I don't know. Unless you grew up in Antarctica, you can still get sunburns in the snow. Anyway, it hasn't happened since I was a little kid, but I just remember, like, getting burned so bad and having to, like, lie in front of the box fan on the floor with lotion on my back, aloe vera lotion on my back.
Yeah, I'm super pale. I absolutely had to do that many times. I remember sleeping where the sheet, you couldn't even put a sheet on you because it hurt so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, laying on your stomach I did that a lot. I don't usually get sunburned here. Since moving to Vegas, I'm still the same whitey white girl, but there's something about the sun doesn't usually burn me here. I usually tan better. In New England, it is burn, peel, burn, peel, burn, peel. That's my tanning season.
Yeah. I'm pretty pasty when I stay indoors, but I actually do tan. It takes me a while. But there were times in the past when I was working construction with my dad, and I'd be out in a tank top every day, all day, or when I was like doing a lot of long distance bike riding, and I was getting pretty
back in your younger days,
back in my youth. Britain has been doing some deep diving.
I was just saying
deep diving and watching old videos of ours. And it's really crazy because he discovered that on April 29th, 2018, I wore a Toxic Avenger t-shirt, and I wore the same Toxic Avenger t-shirt on Wednesday's show, April 29th, 2020. Completely random. I'd like to say that I did it on purpose, and it's not even like, that's what's funny is it's not even like, it's one of the t-shirts that I wear. Because I have some t-shirts that I wear at least once a week.
A lot.
But that one is not one of those ones that I wear all the time. And so it's kind of funny that it ended up being on the same day, 2 years apart, during a show.
It's funny that it happened, but it's also extremely strange that Britain I don't know if he's got a notebook at home.
Yeah. He's got an eye for detail. Okay. He has an eye for detail, but I thought it was pretty funny. So,
Britain has been working through this whole pandemic. He runs a hotel here in Vegas, one of the hotels that doesn't have gaming.
Yeah. And
so he's an essential worker because the hotel has been kept open, but the hotel's at very low capacity. So I have to say, just for obvious reasons, we have no tourists coming to town. But I have to say that I think that the boredom is getting to him. He's now making videos about birds.
Whatever. By the way, he was. I think he's in the chat because he wanted to see if I was going to wear the nacho shirt that I wore 2 years ago. But apparently, I disappointed him, so I apologize, Britain. It was all for naught. But anyway, welcome everybody. We've got a $2 super chat from Malaya Hunter. It says, "Hi guys, hope a nice weekend and keep being healthy." Yeah, it's been a pretty decent weekend. Just hanging out. We actually took yesterday off. And for like the first time in forever. Well, I mean, I still spent the first couple of hours of my day working, measuring t-shirts because I took pictures of like 100 t-shirts, couple of jackets, probably the most I've done in a while.
In about 7 weeks at least.
All at once anyway. And what's ridiculous though is my motivation's a little gone. So it literally took me 3 days to get all my pictures taken. It was like a 4-day process between taking pictures and getting on my measurements. But now I have like 100 things to list. So that should last me a little while. But
it's been a day. It's been a weekend already. We actually took a day where we were able to go out for a little bit. We've been self-isolation, self-quarantine, just like everybody else, as have our best friends who live across town. And we took a day to go and visit them for the first time in 7 weeks.
Yep.
It was like you would have
kept our distance.
We were socially distant, but we did actually get to hang out together for a few hours. And you would have thought that we had a reunion like we hadn't seen each other in 5 years. It was a little ridiculous, but it was a very nice day that felt almost normal.
And we stayed out in the sun, and yeah, it was pretty good. So
Kara said, videos of unicorns make me smile. If you're not in the Boss Facebook group, you did miss out on my video of me being this stupid, goofy one.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen as often.
It helps that she was completely covered.
I was in an inflatable unicorn costume. And Katy had, we can't post it on YouTube because there is music in the background. And
well, I put music to it, and it's not music that's licensed. So
yeah.
Susan Rodriguez says that her outfits are getting more bizarre every day. She laughs at herself every day. Hey, I'm totally down with that. I had a pretty sweet outfit on yesterday, I think. They were making fun of me. So rude. So rude. But yeah, so yeah, Britton says that he happens to be exactly 2 years behind.
Well, I guess you need to catch up.
Yeah, with that.
But yeah, the video was pretty funny, and I think that we're going to do some more of them actually. So
we'll see.
We are doing more videos. She doesn't like me getting attention and not her.
That is so not true. That is so not true. I get plenty of attention. All right, Noelle just gave us a super chat, $20.20. 2020. I don't know. I think we're all going to have PTSD around that number after this year. But 2020 says, girls, load up, get over here. Just had a truckload of house cleanup delivered and more on the way. Love you both to the moon.
Man,
ridiculous.
That would be a road trip.
Seriously.
That we should take someday. Thanks. Are you going to give her a super chat song?
Yeah.
She needs a song.
Super chat. She's super chatty. Yow. I can't do it too hard, but I get a little burn going on there.
Got a little sunburn.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Anyway, Victoria Smith wants to know, was Vikki running in that costume?
I was not running.
No, it's actually, I sped it up to double speed because otherwise it was like 2 minutes of her slowly sauntering down the street. And I'm like, we need to speed that up a little bit. So
it was a little tough because I think somebody had mentioned, it might have been Noelle, I'm not sure. Somebody said I should do it in heels next time.
Oh, God.
I have to say, if you've ever been in one of those costumes, you have zero peripheral vision and you can't look down. So I can only imagine had I done it in heels. Britton said if I fell, I would probably bounce and roll around like a turtle. It's probably true, but you wouldn't be able, I would probably break an ankle. So that's the part I wouldn't wear heels for that reason.
Yeah.
Because you can't see where you're walking.
Yeah, no, not really.
And Tommy in Seattle, that was me in the costume. It wasn't even Katy. That was me.
That was her. But if you do look at in the comment thread in the Boss Facebook group, I put up a clip of the video because we actually wore, I had a shark one, and we wore them for a birthday video we made for our friend's daughter who turned 6 the other day. And so I took a little clip of that because I couldn't show the whole thing, but it's pretty funny. So it's very, very entertaining.
We had fun.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, so
I think there will be more videos. I think the unicorn has to have more adventures than just going to the mailbox.
Yeah. Also, you, other than the sun that we got yesterday, I got your pool set up this week. So you've had like a few days of pool time this week.
Mm-hmm. My kiddie pool.
Yeah. It's more than a kiddie. When I think of kiddie pool, I think of those like little plastic ones. This one's it's like a good 6 feet across.
No, well, roller skates would be hilarious. Yeah. I'm sure it would be. It's not happening. I can't imagine me on roller skates.
I think that would be poor judgment on your part. So yeah, you'd probably hurt yourself. Anyway, and on Tuesday, I actually got to go to yesterday's fits. I got to see Jesse. Obviously, they're not open. I got there, and it's like, so they have an upstairs area, which is where I'm usually filming when I do videos there. And that's where they keep a lot of their inventory and their stuff that they have online. And then they have like their actual store that's really nicely organized. That's really good. I went in there on Tuesday, and it was like they had brought everything down from upstairs. It was like mayhem in there because they're basically taking this as an opportunity to completely overhaul their store and go through all of their inventory and do a bunch of stuff. But it was fun. I got to go through everything, and I actually did a really big buy. I ended up spending like $1,000 and got a ton of stuff, which is why I have like 100 items to list now. It wasn't all from them, but so it was like the first really big buy I've done, and the first buy from them that I've done since the middle of March. So it's like just before we went into shutdown mode was the last time that I was able to buy from him. So it was nice to finally get some go out and do a little sourcing, even though it was a very quiet, low key kind of thing. But yeah, so I have a little bit of that today. You don't have anything to show in a haul today.
No,
because you actually have a bunch of stuff that's coming, but it's supposed to be coming today, right?
It still won't be here for next week though, because it's coming later on today, and then I'll be turning around and giving it to
that's true,
to Crystal on probably Tuesday.
That's true.
To pick up Tuesday or Wednesday. So
yeah. So Allison said, I'd be jealous if I wasn't going thrifting tomorrow. What?
No thrifting happening here, so I'm still not going to have a haul for a while. Maybe another 2 weeks I'll have a haul.
Yeah, so you guys are stuck looking at my stuff.
You're stuck looking at her t-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff.
You shut your mouth. You shut your stinking mouth. But anyway, so we break up our show. Our Sunday show is broken up into 3 parts. The first part, we go over our real numbers for the last week and kind of break it down, what our gross sales were, what the majority of our costs were. And then we look at the highlights of the sales that we had over the last week. It's kind of a good way to see like bolos and stuff like that. So some of the things we sold, what the price points were we sold them at. And then the third part is the haul, which again, this week is only going to be stuff that I have. But I think it's going to be fun. Overall, I think that I know your sales are a little down from last week, but last week you had like a ridiculous.
I had a $4,000 week.
Yeah, it was not the norm.
And I'm rounding up.
Yeah.
29, it was 3,900 and change, and Teresa's like, that's a $4,000 week. This one's like, no, it's not.
That was me teasing you. It's like when you get like the A-, and your parents are like, oh, room for improvement. That was me teasing you. Anyway, so you had like a crazy good week last week. Yours was a little bit less this week, but still crazy good. Mine is up from last week. I had a pretty good week, sold some stuff. I'm actually really excited because Grail, so I just finished my 3rd month of Grail. I started with Grail at the beginning of February. Well, when you went out of town, I went crazy and put up everything.
It was middle of February.
Okay, so middle of February. Well, I started dabbling beginning of February, but I really like buckled down, got everything down. Anyway, so I just wrapped up my 3rd month of Grailed, and I've done a little bit better each month. I have over 1,500 listings there, and I ended up doing over $1,500 in April. So
that's pretty good.
Yep, I'm at 59 sales.
I cannot say that about Posh.
Yeah.
Posh last month was under $300 for the whole month, and I'm paying a virtual assistant for Posh. And that doesn't count my cost of goods. So I think I might be negative on Posh for last month. Not negative, but not much of a profit. It was a pretty shitty month.
I mean, the thing is, Grailed is kind of almost tailor-made for the kind of stuff that I sell. So it's like, I put 1,500 listings on there. And so it's like, I'd have to be doing something wrong if I wasn't selling something there. So, but yeah, so it's been pretty nice between that and this last week with eBay. I did better on Etsy and Grailed together than I did on eBay. So that's nice. But anyway, you want to jump in and start looking at some numbers? Yes.
Tommy in Seattle says, no thumbs up. I'm waiting for what do you say? I'm waiting for a good laugh. I have high standards for this show. We have to earn the thumbs up is basically what's happening.
So rude. But I like to think that that's because we always deliver. So that's the high standards, set the bar high. I can appreciate that. No pressure's really.
Tommy in Seattle says, I've come to the conclusion that Posh sucks. I'm not quite there yet. I've only given it 3 months. My plan is to give it a full year. But I will say, so far, the effort has not been worth it for me. not just the cost. And yes, I am paying someone else to do my sharing. So that part I'm not doing personally, but I'm paying for it. And there is still time cross-posting, even though List Perfectly makes it very easy. There's still time cross-posting. So for me, I'm not either. My merchandise is not what Posh buyers are looking for, or it's just, I mean, it may not work for everybody. I know plenty of Posh people that do well. So far, I'm not one of them. And I have about 1,500 items up on Posh right now, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Teresa says, good thing there's a List Perfectly. And that goes for, you know, with my Grailed, it really did make it really super easy to move everything over there.
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm still going to give it, like I said, I'm going to give it a year. I gave free shipping of several years before I changed that back from that. So I'm going to give it a year.
You're getting lots of love for your hair today.
I know. Thanks. It's just overgrown and and blow dried, but I appreciate it.
Let's rewind. You're getting a lot of love for your hair today.
Thank you.
Jackass. She doesn't know how to take a compliment. I'm trying to break her of that very bad habit.
It is a bad habit.
People are saying it because they mean it. And so you are supposed to just say thank you. You appreciate them saying nice things to you. All right, let's look at numbers. I'm going to share the screen right now.
Yeah, so Susan said, you know, I don't know what to do about Posh. The only reason I'm not doing it myself is because I just don't have the time to do the sharing and the following, and I don't have any want to do it. Yeah, that's the reason. The only reason I got on Posh was because I found someone to do that for me. If I have to do it myself, I'm not going to do it. Just period, end of story. I do have great products. I'm aware. I agree with you. I have an excellent amount and variety of clothing and things, but I'm not so sure that my vintage stuff, which is what I prefer, vintage and original looking type of things, is really a Posh market. I'm not interested in selling anything I have for $20.
Yeah.
And I think that's a Posh thing.
Indeed. All right, let's look at numbers. So looking at mine, I had 22 items go out for eBay and 20 between Etsy and Grailed. 11 of those are Etsy, 9 of those are Grailed. So a total of 42 outgoing orders between all 3 platforms. eBay gross sales, meh, okay. Actually, I've had a really good day today on eBay, but these numbers just go to through yesterday. But today I've actually had the best day on eBay that I've had like all month.
Really? What are you doing today?
I think it's over like 400. eBay just hasn't been like crazy hopping for me overall, but today's been good. So 1,000, yeah, crazy hopping. $1,145.06. My Etsy Grailed gross sales together, $1,339.14. About close to, I think a little over 800 of that is Etsy, and the rest is Grailed. So my total gross sales, $2,484.20, which is all right. Pretty good. My shipping, $211.11. My promotion fees, promoted listings between eBay and Etsy, $88.77. You can see the breakdown of my final value fees. Cost of goods, of course, I pay up for a lot of stuff. So my cost of goods, $360. So my total net sales after costs, $1,566.39. My gross average sale price, $59.15, so just short of the 60 I always try to keep it at, but I'll talk a little bit in a little while about like why that is. But $59.15, so it's okay. I'd rather be in the 60s, but fine. My net average sale price, $37.30. So yeah, so not bad for my week. I think I'm pretty happy with it. Let's go ahead and, of course, with what I actually spent. So this cost of goods, of course, is just the stuff that I sold. But with what I spent at yesterday's fits, I really spent a lot on goods this week. All right, you.
So mine was a lot slower this week than last week. 37. This is back to a normal week for me as far as the number of orders, and a little bit higher for sales, but 37 on eBay. I did 11 between Etsy, Posh, and Mercari. 8, I think I did 1 on Posh, no, 2 on Posh, 1 on Mercari, and 8 on Etsy for a total of 48 orders. At eBay total gross was $24.33 and change. My Etsy, Posh, and Mercari, $671 for a total of $31.04, which I think was a good week for me.
Nice.
Shipping was high. Shipping was $3.58. I will say I sold several big bulky things, and I also had a lot of international sales this week. A lot. Like
me too.
At least 10 of my items were 25% were international this week, which is big.
I did too. And the thing is, my international sales, I had international sales on Grailed. I had multiple international sales on Etsy and on eBay. So I don't know. It's
international everywhere. Well, the American dollar is in the shitter. That's what it is.
Okay, I'll take it.
You know, so international sales, yay, good for that. So shipping was high. Promoted listing fees or promotion fees were only on eBay. I have turned mine off on Etsy. They will go mandatory in another couple of days or tomorrow.
That's different.
That's entirely different. So advertising fees are on Etsy will be different. But now $37.58 on eBay. eBay final value fees for $2.95. Etsy and Mercari right around $60 for a total of $7.51 on hard costs. My cost of goods were low this week, $168. I had some really good ROI on a lot of items. So my total net is $21.86, let's call it. My gross average sale price was almost $65, which is good for me. I like to be over 50 because I have a higher markup and a higher margin than Katy does on items. I tend to go for, I'm happier with a lower ASP if necessary. But my net ASP was 45, which is pretty good. So decent week.
Not too shabby, as we say. All right. So I just want to say something really quick to touch on what you were just saying about Etsy ads. So there's two different types of Etsy ads. There's the ads that are actually on Etsy, and that's what Vikki turned off. We were looking at her numbers because you can go and look at the stats of like how much you've spent on ads over the last 30 days and how many sales it actually resulted in. I think you had spent like $100-something, or wasn't it some crazy number? But
it was way too high.
She had spent like $113 and gotten like $60 in sales. So it really makes absolutely no sense to that. And those are for just like on eBay, promoted listings, similar on Etsy. When you're searching on Etsy and you see promoted or whatever advertised, it's those ads. Then there's the other ads, and those are the offsite ads. They've already started, but I think because of the whole COVID pandemic thing, they delayed making people pay for them. So they've basically been giving us those offsite Google ads for free. But starting tomorrow, May 4th, I believe it's tomorrow, they are going to be charging for that. And if you have made $10,000 in the last 365 days on Etsy, it is mandatory that you be opted into that program. So Vikki has turned off her on-site ads because she can, anybody can, but she's still going to have to do the off-site Google ads. And those, for the mandatory people, it's 12%. So if you make a sale from a Google ad, you're going to be paying 12%. And for people, anybody that does it, opts in, they make less than 10,000, it's going to be like 15%. So I'm going to say, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
So I want to answer a couple questions in the chat that Jewel Tree had. I've had trouble with international sales. Customers sending me messages saying they can't purchase. Jewel Tree, are you in managed payments by any chance? If you are in eBay's managed payments and it's an international buyer that's unable to pay, you have to tell them to log on to the .com website to purchase and pay. And then they should be able to. If they're logging on from their website, whether it's .de or .ge or .ca or whatever it is, they are not able to process payment if you are in the managed payments program. So that's it. Just message your buyer and tell them to log on using .com. The other thing, there was one other question by the same person. Has anyone had any trouble with sales to Italy? I personally do not sell to Italy, and that is the only country that I exclude, and there's a couple of reasons why. Your mileage may vary, but I excluded Italy well over 10 years ago. They have one of the most prolific theft areas as far as customs. Items go missing very, very frequently. That's not rumor. And they also have a very restrictive import list. So for me, those two things combined made it not worth the one sale a year I would get there.
I've had no problems with them. So it just depends on what your comfort level is. And if there's a country where I feel like there's a little bit more risk or it's a high dollar item, I just get insurance and I'm not worried about it. Another question, Charlene wants to know if we had any shipping delays with international sales. Yes, I've had a couple of customers that have been like, hey, I haven't gotten my item yet. And I know that I have heard, depending on the country, some places it's like an extra 2 weeks that they're waiting to process things through customs. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but I'm sure there is a certain level of delay, just like anything else. There's probably less people working. There's any number of reasons why things might be taking a little bit longer. So if you do have any customers, a couple of things I would say during this time: if you don't already get insurance for your stuff, buy your label through Pirate Ship, use their simple export rate to ship, and add insurance, because if something does happen and disappears, you will get your money back. But maybe talk to your buyers and ask them to be patient.
I just want to say one more thing to Noelle. Noelle said, just changed my mind about Etsy. I will say, Noelle, you haven't even sold on Etsy yet. So I would definitely, if the only time you need to be concerned with this is if you're selling more than $10,000 a year. So since you're not there yet, I absolutely encourage anybody to sell on Etsy, and then you can reevaluate. I'm not so sure that this percentage will stay in place. It's brand new. They haven't just started it. It's like anything else. If it costs them a lot of customers, they may not continue with it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's still worth it.
Here's the thing: if they're making it mandatory for a lot of people, if you sell more than 10,000 in the last 365 days, but on the upside of that, that means they're going to have a lot more advertising dollars to be really driving a lot of traffic from Google to your store. And I'm not super stoked about the added cost, but at the same time, I'm like, if it's driving people to my store, particularly because I have a niche store, I'm hoping that it's going to be well worth it. I'm going to make a lot of money with it. So jack your prices up a little bit more on Etsy. People
Again, it's just like eBay's promoted listings. You don't pay unless it sells that way.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. So you just got to see. Teresa was being funny and
I saw
saying that Etsy was taking away her rights and her freedom.
I think saying she was being funny is being generous.
You're rude. You're rude. Now somebody thinks she's a comedian over here. Anyway.
What the hell kind of accent was that?
It was right up there on par with your sense of humor.
Oh.
Anyway. All right. So let's go ahead and look at our sales highlights for the last week. Let me go back and share the screen, and we're going to start. We're going to start with you. What you got?
So this is just a vintage, kind of a modest dress from the Gap. This is one of those examples that not all labels are created equal. Gap is generally not something that I would say is a bolo brand, but when you're looking at vintage Gap, a lot of vintage Gap items sell very well. There's a very big difference between vintage clothing and current clothing as far as quality and construction. And if you find something that has a good look, these pictures are terrible, by the way, I'm aware. I probably did. Maybe. It still sold though, didn't it? So
okay.
Anyway, this was a purchase. I probably paid $5 or $6 for this in a store. I would not have paid more than that, but it did sell for a best offer, $65, which for me, I'm like, hey, you're offering me very close to my full sale price. I'm happy to accept $65 on that.
Barbara says she thinks she had that dress. She had a lot of jumpers.
Yeah, you know what? It's a look for modest. It's a look for teachers. It's a look, in this case, this one is a crossover that could work for a grunge look right now that is back.
Yeah.
With a pair of combat boots, a dress like this, and a little tee underneath, maybe a hat. I could totally see this styled in a lot of different ways. It's really, really cute. And it sold for $65, even though it's vintage Gap and just Gap.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. So
see, Jen Lee and I are on the same page. She said grunge too.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So I actually sold, it's like I will go long periods of time without selling anything but clothes, but I do have probably like 30 or so albums that are listed and then some posters. I've actually sold 3 records this week, and that's without having listed any new ones anytime recently in the last few months. So I sold this. This is not the movie Dune. This is actually the soundtrack, the score from a documentary that came out a few years back. That's about an attempt to adapt the book Dune into a movie in the 70s. And this is the score for that documentary. So anybody who's like, I don't know, super nerd and is interested, this is pretty cool. But yeah, I sold this record. I sold 2 other records as well. So those are kind of a fun little break from clothes, but it's just because I personally like to collect.
What did you pay for it?
I think I paid like $25 for it. So again, I've talked about this before. It's not a huge markup, but
it allows you to pay for your own.
I bought a copy of this for myself. So I bought 2 copies, so that selling this paid for both. So next for you.
This was a pretty quick flip. I picked this up from Barry last week.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a bunch of hard goods from Barry. This is, again, one of those things that's it's sight unseen. It was dead when I picked it up from him, dead, scratched, no cords. We're able to charge it, test it, works perfectly, sold without a cord very quickly. I took an offer for $75 about 2 days after I listed it. I have about $10 invested in it. I was happy for a quick flip. And $75 to $100 is the market for this version of the iPod.
Yeah. Nice.
It had 4,000 songs on it too. I didn't look through any of them, but it had over 4,000 songs, which to me means there's probably a lot of music value on there as well. Hopefully whoever purchased it likes a lot of that music. Yeah. Because it's, not all music is free to download.
That's true. All right, next for me is this rodeo qualifier shirt. If you guys remember,
I remember these.
Maybe sometime in the last year we were at Savers and I actually bought like 9 of these. Or like 10 of these, and they all had different color embroidery right here, but they said the same thing on them. They're new with tags. And I didn't pay much for them. I think I paid like $7 for each or something like that.
I think you paid $7 each, honestly. I don't know why that sticks in my head.
I don't know. But I probably sold like 4 of them. So I haven't sold them like crazy or anything, but probably sold like 4 of them, and I have them priced it with the price you see there. And this one sold for $97.99. So, rodeo stuff does really well.
Sandra asked if the iPod had any Nickelback. They'll probably return it. I have to be fair and honest. I actually really love Nickelback.
Oh,
sorry.
You guys.
I do.
I don't even know how this relationship is in existence, but
I love Nickelback.
There's this amazing article that I read, and it was somebody basically laid it out scientifically with step-by-step arguments of why scientifically Nickelback is the worst band ever.
I think they get a bad rap. I think they're fantastic.
They're terrible.
They're fantastic live.
They're terrible. Sandra, I'm going to post that article on my page later today so that you can enjoy it. But no.
I've seen them live a few times. I think they're great.
No.
I think Chad Kroeger has a great voice.
No. I'm just going to go ahead and say no.
It's a matter of opinion. I think the shit you listen to sucks.
Well, because you have a very narrow window of the stuff that you think is actually good, and it's mostly Bret Michaels. So,
Tommy in Seattle says, "You hush your mouth, Katy."
Anyway, so $100 for this rodeo shirt. So yeah, basically, anytime you find anything rodeo, vintage, and otherwise, it's usually going to sell pretty well. So, all right, here's a creepy doll. Tell us about it.
I think this one's cute. This one's not one of the creepy ones. Picked this up a few months ago. Everything's a few months ago, but picked this up a few months ago for $5. 1965 vintage. We picked up a bunch of them that day, and this is the second one that I've sold out of the lot, but I paid $5. Puddin'. I know it says it's $20 shipping, and I want people to be aware this doll is huge, and the box that it comes in is huge. So $20 shipping is probably not even going to cover it. It's not very heavy. It's just the box that I have to create to go around to the box is going to be a pain. It sold for what you see there. I paid $5. It sold for $95 plus shipping.
Nice. All right, next one. I want to find some more hockey stuff, man. I love selling like hockey sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff. So I picked this up, I don't know, maybe like a month ago. Well, I guess it would have been a couple months ago.
Everything's at least a month. We haven't left the house
anything a month ago. At least a couple months ago from yesterday's fits. I think I paid like $15 for it. It's pretty faded and stuff, but it's like, I feel like there's just not as much merch out there for hockey as there is for some of the other sports. So I've been buying it when I see it, and I ended up taking an offer for this sweatshirt for $70. So I sold this for $70, paid $15. Not a bad turnaround. But yeah, I seem to sell all the hockey stuff that I get. So I'm going to keep on doing it. Seems to be working for me.
Jen and Sandra are having to sing along in the closet again.
Stop it.
It happens at least once during every show we do. Okay, so anybody that might remember these are the most fantastic jeans ever. I will say they did not sell for the price you had there. I had them priced ridiculously high. I have 2 pairs, the exact same size, exact same pattern, exact same jeans.
They're like really small, aren't they?
They're a size 7 juniors that are vintage, so they're a super tiny size 7. But anyway, I paid about $2 or $3 a piece at a garage sale. They're just fantastic jeans, but they didn't have a lot of interest. And I do think the lack of interest was because of the size, because they're so tiny. But I absolutely still love them. Anyway, I took an offer. I finally took an offer. They sold for $125 plus shipping. They went to Norway. The customer was thrilled that I accepted her offer, and I still have another pair. So
my question is, does having an American flag on your crotch make you more patriotic or a traitor to our country?
I'm thinking I really don't have an opinion on that.
Interesting. An American.
But they're super America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I love them. They're super cool. As we've said before, Tommy Hilfiger has kind of started to jump the shark over the last 6 to 9 months, nowhere near what it was a year or 2 years ago, as far as popular resurgence in the streetwear. Had I had these 2 years ago, I think it would have sold super fast.
Yeah.
The fact that I've had them for about a year, I think we're already on the downward spin of the brand, but I was still pretty happy to get over 100 for them.
I mean, plus they're women's, right?
They're women's and they're tiny.
That's part of it too. I feel like if
these were men's, holy crap, I would have sold them.
I think even still they would have sold, because Tommy does still do pretty well, and especially internationally, they're still somewhat hot. So it really has more to do with the women's, I think. Anyway, so speaking of selling things that aren't clothing, I also sold the Psycho poster. I have to start looking more at some of the poster and record releases, because I haven't been doing it much over the last year. But so the Psycho poster, actually, it wasn't one of the bigger ones. It was actually a smaller one, but just a really cool limited release screen print poster. And I sold it for the price you see there, $97.99. And I had bought like a whole case of these poster tubes that even with the bigger posters that I have, when I put them in there, they weigh under a pound. And so I'm able to send them priority for very cheap, actually. And they're super easy to package up and send on its way. But I love me some Alfred Hitchcock Psycho. I think it's a really cool poster.
I like that poster too, actually.
Yeah, it's very simple.
I would have allowed that one to be hung up somewhere in the home.
You would have?
Yeah.
So you're saying I made a big mistake?
You made a mistake.
Sorry, I did not. The posters I do not buy because I already have enough stuff to put on walls. But as far as opposed to the records for myself. Anyway, you're up.
Another item I picked up from Barry. This was in my items that I grabbed from him a little over a week ago, listed for about 3 days. It's what's, folded in. I think I listed it right before my sale started. So it did fall into the sale category. I was fine with that. Paid about $10 for it and sold for $124.06.
Crazy.
It's one of these industrial type, you buy the little things that fit on top of them, and it's the kind of thermometer that you use. For adults, children, they have them at the doctor's office. They have them in the ER, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it sold pretty quickly. I think I showed it last weekend. Yeah, you did. So I listed it beginning of the week, and it sold yesterday or the day before.
Very, very good. So, so this shirt didn't sell for a lot, but one of the things I was going to say, when looking at my numbers, how I was under the $60 average sale price that I like to stick at or be over. One of the things is I had like 4 days this last week where I didn't have anything new to list. And so I was doing a lot of ending old listings and doing sell similar on eBay. And I actually have a method for how I go on Etsy, and you can see how many times something has been relisted. Because when you list something, it's 20 cents and it lasts for, is it 4 months or 3 months?
4 months.
4 months. So 20 cents, it's up for 4 months, and then it automatically renews. And you can see how many times it's renewed. And so I'm going through and, stuff that's been renewed 2 or 3 times, I'm basically deactivating them and then creating a copy to list it as a fresh new listing. And I've found that stuff has actually been selling like a day or two after I do that. Something will sell that I did that with that I've had for a long time. And so between eBay and Etsy, I had a number of kind of low dollar items that I've had sitting around forever, like, $25 to $30 items sell. And so it, brought down my average sale price, but I'm moving some stuff that has been around for a while. So this was one of those things because, we always talk about how on eBay, they like to see activity. Stuff after a certain number of months goes stale, and it's hard to, we don't have as much information, or at least Vikki and I don't know as much about how Etsy works. But I'm really finding that as I've been doing this, I'm regularly seeing sales like this on items I've had for a long time. So this is just like, I think it's a cool little tennis tank top, 80s tank top.
By the way, I really like when they send you a picture of them wearing the item they bought for your feedback.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. I don't think I saw that one. Nice. I like it. I like it. Anyway, so let's see what that sold for. Again, didn't sell for like a crazy amount, but $35.99. And when I deactivated it, it was actually on sale 10% off, so they could have gotten it cheaper. But I deactivated it, made a copy, and it sold like the next day for $35.99. And this was just something that I maybe spent a few dollars on. I didn't spend a lot of money on this, so it's just a cool little pro tennis tank top. Anyway, all right. Next one for you.
This was a fun one. I've had this one only for a couple of months. I picked this up, I think, the very last time I went thrifting in an actual store. Remember those days?
Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I spent under $4. I think this was one that was priced at $3.99 at Savers. And I'm sure I had a coupon. So I paid under $4 for this. It was a little bit beat up. I actually used a sweater shaver on it to give it some new life. And it sold for the price that you see there, which was $58.36. Weird numbers because it's the percentage off of my sale.
Oh, okay.
So it's not, that's just one of those weird numbers. But $3 or $4 into $58 and change plus shipping.
You didn't have that long, so it's only been a couple months.
It's really only been a couple months that I've had this one, and vintage is definitely long tail. When it sells relatively quickly, I'm happy about that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, next one for me. So the reason I'm showing this one, this is actually from a couple weeks ago when we went to Barry's storage unit and bought a bunch of stuff. It was kind of dark in there, and I was pulling stuff off the racks, and then I was going through and kind of inspecting a little closer before I was deciding what I wanted to buy. And this is one that, like, I saw it and I'm like, oh, cool, I like this. And then I looked closer and it was like all faded, and it's got, I don't know if this is like bleach on one sleeve. And I was like, do I want to get this? I don't know.
Look at the bleach on the back.
I know, right? It's like,
what has happened to that thing?
Yeah, right. And I have it like right here. It says, pre-owned, worn and faded, discolored. So
it's a hot mess.
I almost didn't get it. And I was like, I just, at that point, especially, I was just like, I just need some stuff to list. I'm going to go ahead and get it. I think it probably ended up being along with everything else, maybe like $5. And it seriously has only been listed for like a week and a half, 2 weeks tops. So again, didn't sell for like a crazy amount or anything, but seriously, like I was like, I don't know if I even want to get this. And I sold it for $35.99. So I made like $30 on it. So whatever, I guess she just goes to show you that people like their faded stuff right now for sure. I mean, I wasn't really thinking that was like a great fade, but I was wrong.
Kind of looks crappy,
right? Go ahead.
So this item, actually, I took a best offer on. I paid up for this one a little bit. I think I paid $15, and I've had it for.
That's a good picture.
Yeah, it's a good one, huh? Jesus. Anyway, I've had this one, which is probably, I'd probably just uploaded them all, and the second picture was probably not supposed to be there. Anyway, I've had this for about 4 or 5 months or so. I paid up, I think I paid either $15 or $20 for this, but I did take an offer. It sold for $125, but it went international. And it went international, and it was in that sweet spot where it was between 3 and 4 pounds. So the buyer paid for first class international. They pay retail rate or rack rate, and then you've got this sweet discount from Pirate Ship for the simple export rate. So I think I made like $14 extra on the shipping. So
nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a nice jacket too.
It is a nice jacket. It's just an enormous size. It was like 6XL.
Yeah.
6XL. That's huge.
It's huge. All right. Next one for me is this Oceanica Sea Life t-shirt. Now I'm trying to remember where I got this. I feel like I might have gotten it on our last trip to Arizona. I don't think I got this from yesterday's fits, but I might have gotten it from there. I don't know, but I don't think I didn't pay more than like $15 for it. But
so we do have just under 200 people watching right now. I just want to say, if you can hit the like button, that would be great.
If you could lightly caress that thumbs up button, we would appreciate it. Or if you want to angrily smash it, you can. Anyway, actually, I do remember getting this from yesterday's fits, and so I probably paid about $15 for it, but it's right up my alley. I like the all-over print, or Oliver prints, as some of you may say. I like the ocean life, the sea life. It always makes me happy, and so this one, again, I haven't had it for a crazy amount of time. Vikki was just saying that vintage tends to be long tail, but I've actually found, since I've been buying...
it's also liquid blue, which is a popular brand.
I've also found that since I've been buying from Yesterday's Fits regularly, I'm getting much more desirable vintage streetwear type stuff, and it's actually moving a lot faster than like what my stuff used to move at. So I'm pretty happy with that. But let's go ahead and look at how much I sold this for.
And what'd you pay for it again?
I probably paid like $15 for it.
You need to say that. You keep forgetting.
I did say that.
Okay.
I said it 2 different times. People in the chat, please back me up and prove me correct to my fiance over here.
I'm gonna punch her. There's gonna be a COVID murderer. I wonder if the murder rates are going up during COVID.
Oh, what just happened? Why did you do that?
I don't know.
I messed up.
Good.
You are so rude.
That's what you get.
That's what I get. Anyway, so it says $69.99. There's 10% off sale going on right now, and so it actually sold for $62.99. Went to Australia. So Sandra says no fighting. Went to Australia, so they paid for shipping and then some. And I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, this one, I mean, I haven't had it for a really crazy long time, so maybe like a couple of months. But just a cool t-shirt. I like it. Oliver Prince. Oliver Prince. It's you. Woo!
All right, so this is the pièce de resistance this week, I have to say. This I showed in our haul video. I purchased this from Barry the last time we went to a storage unit, so less than a month ago. And I had it listed for a few days. I put it up for a ridiculous high price, knowing it was going to go on sale, knowing I was going to accept offers. I will say this item, there is nothing like this on WorthPoint, nothing like this on Solds on eBay, nothing like this on Google. I was not able to find it anywhere. It was one of those thin cotton-ish, linen-ish coverlets, one-sided, no lining, not like a comforter, not like a blanket, just like harsh, like it goes on the bedspread, just a bedspread. Anyway, so I paid about $10 for this. It was stained. John Travolta's suit is stained, and there's a stain on one side. Dana was trying to needle me into giving it to her, but I knew this was a really good one, so I wasn't giving in.
Yep.
But anyway, it sold for, I had a customer send me a message offering me $300 for it and saying, please don't decline my offer. Please counter offer if it's not enough. I really want this. I'll be happy with anything you counter. Now, I have to say, when a customer sends you something like that, clearly they've shown their hand. But there was something to be said. I know the customer wanted it so badly that I really couldn't be a jerk. I could not be a jerk. So I countered at $350, and I probably would have taken the $300. But because they said what they said, I countered at $350, and they purchased it immediately. So I sold it for $350.
Crazy.
I paid $10 for it. The customer sent me all kinds of pictures of their John Travolta collection. When you are selling vintage items or antique items, and you have the buyer that buys that perfect item for them, and they find that perfect item for them, and they are super excited about it, those are my buyers. Those are the people that I'm looking to sell for on that I'm looking to sell things to on Etsy and on eBay with vintage stuff. This is not just a pair of Abercrombie jeans. Someone likes the style. This is a really cool item that went to somebody who.
And it's not actually this yellow, right? Like I think it was your filter.
No, it is that yellow.
Is that yellow? Okay.
Yeah, it was never supposed to be white. It's like a faded black.
Yeah.
It's blotchy. It's accurate that is kind of what it looked like.
Interesting.
Already got great feedback and a message. They love it. They're gonna hang it. They're going to hang it on the wall in a room.
Yeah. Tommy in Seattle is pretty excited about that. I want to know, that may not have made you laugh, Tommy, but was that enough to get a thumbs up? Come on, man. Come on.
It was a good sale. I was pretty excited about that one.
Yeah, that's great. All right, next one up. So when I very first started buying a bunch of stuff from Yesterday's Fits before they moved their look, or when they were in the process of moving, I bought a bunch of really cool 80s Ocean Pacific like skater t-shirts, surfer t-shirts, and this was actually one of my favorites because it's a skater one. Most of them that I got were surfing ones, but this is just a really cool vertical control skateboarding t-shirt. Like, look at that, look how sweet that is. And it's got like the high-low thing going on.
Oh, I can picture some muscle-bound dude on Venice Beach wearing that.
I love it. It's just such a cool shirt, like Ocean Pacific
with the shorty shorts.
Ocean Pacific is owned by, is it Target or Walmart? Yeah, Walmart now. So it's just one of those brands that isn't the same as it used to be. But back in the day, this was a really cool skater, surfer, street brand. And so I love this stuff. But I've had this up probably since last winter, late 2019. But I had them priced pretty high because, I mean, come on, man. It's some cool stuff. So let's see what I sold this one for. It went to Germany and it was 10% off. So I actually sold it for $89.99. And then they paid for shipping because it went to Germany. So I was super excited about that sale because I'm like,
that's a good one.
Yes.
That is a good one.
So yeah, it does take longer for me to sell stuff because I have prices so high, but I like it that way. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it either. And did I know that I had a goodie when I saw that in the store? Well, I purchased it from another reseller friend. I purchased it from our friend Barry in a bulk lot of stuff. I knew that it was an awesome find and I knew it was worth a couple $100. I didn't know that it was going to sell for $300 that quickly, but I did know that it was something I've never come across before. And, you know, while I haven't seen everything in my life, obviously, I've been selling a very long time and I have a very good instinct for something that is going to sell for a lot and something that is rare.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for having that instinct because it's kind of something that it's pretty near impossible to teach. Or even to learn to a certain degree. I mean, you do somewhat learn it, but a lot of it is just kind of a natural instinct that you have for being able to spot stuff that's going to.
But that one even surprised me for selling it as quickly as it did for over $300 in the condition it was in.
For sure. All right. So next one for you.
So I did have some good Etsy sales this week, and this is one of them. This is another item that I had picked up. I'm honestly torn. I know I didn't pay more than $3 or $4 for it, but I cannot remember if I purchased this at my last thrift store excursion or in Arizona, or if I got it in my bulk lot of purchase that I just received a few weeks ago from another reseller. So I'm not entirely sure. Either way, I sold it for, I paid around $4 for it. So it sold for a pretty good price. And this sold very quickly too. This sold within a week of listing.
Nice.
Even though it's a vintage Champion sweatshirt, it's not a reverse weave. So it still sold for a pretty penny considering. It was not on sale. It sold for what you see there, $69.95, and it went back to Boston.
Boston.
It went back to Boston.
Well, Tommy says that you could sell a can of soup for $99, and I think that's true.
I probably could.
Allison says that she rocked Ocean Pacific hard in the day and she loved the corduroy shorty shorts and wishes she still had them, but she takes it back and says that she wishes they would still fit. Kara wants to know about like vintage Ocean Pacific. Is vintage Faded Glory in Ebola? No, I think Faded Glory's always been a Walmart brand as far as I know.
Yeah, Faded Glory's always been a Walmart shitty brand. There's Ocean Pacific used to be a surf brand that was, you know, made in the USA, and they sold out to, I think they sold out back before the 80s style resurged. So what they sold out was just a mediocre brand. But now the 80s and 90s pop culture has made a resurgence in streetwear. The vintage 80s styles that OP was known for are super popular, but the stuff that you find at Walmart now is just crap.
Still not worth anything.
Made by crap.
But yeah, I mean, there's other brands that have similar stories. Like Massimo was a really awesome brand. You can still sell Massimo if it's old vintage Massimo. You can still make some money on it, but now it's a Target brand. Same for like Starter. Like Walmart sells Starter stuff now, but there's some of that's coming back now.
Kmart sells Starter.
Well, they have it at Walmart.
I was just going to say Kmart, but it went to Kmart first, and like Lee brand, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So anyway, but I think Lee and Nutmeg and stuff, that stuff always sold at Kmart. But because of what's on it, still the vintage stuff is worth money. All right. Next one is this Michael Jordan jersey. There was some. There's some show. I don't watch it. There's a documentary series or something like that. Is it just on Jordan?
Yeah. And something about Jordan that's out right now.
So it's out right now. And so I don't know if any of you guys have noticed, if you have any Jordan stuff. Last week I sold a couple of Jordan t-shirts for quite a bit. And then I sold this jersey. It's not even a sewn one, but I sold, you know, they're basically getting bought quickly. And I actually picked up one of my haul things as a Jordan t-shirt because I went ahead and I'm like, I got to get some more. But it's one of those things where something is trending right now, and so people are buying it up, and it probably does not hurt that people are desperate because there's no sports going on, no sportsing happening. So not only is there the nostalgia for Michael Jordan, but also just nostalgia for sports in general. And so people are probably watching that show and eating it up like nobody's business, and then going out to spend money on Jordan stuff.
I think I hear the FedEx truck.
I think maybe they dropped off your stuff. Anyway, so let's see what this sold for. And this went for, it was actually 10% off, so it went for $134.99. $134.99. So I was pretty excited about it. And this one actually had like it had some issues that I pointed out. As you can see, like right there. Yeah. So it wasn't even like in perfect condition or anything. So I still sold it for almost $150.
It was a crappy one too. Not even like a super high end. Or...
No, it's not a crappy one. There's a difference between sewn. When it's a sewn stitched one, it's going to have even higher value. It doesn't make it a crappy one necessarily. It just is not going to sell for as much money. It's champion anyway, but it did have some issues.
So yeah, I think I just heard the FedEx truck drop off my 128 pounds of clothing that I purchased from a reseller. No, there will not be an unboxing. It's way too many pieces and very heavy boxes I've got to haul into the house in a few minutes. But so we'll move on to the next thing.
Bear Kitty says 1972 to 1994 Faded Glory is not Walmart. Well, I don't know if it's ever been a bolo though. I don't know if it was ever like a super sought after brand.
Well, I mean, I worked at Walmart in 1993 and it was Faded Glory was their brand then. So
yeah, I don't know.
I worked there from 93 to 95 as a special divisions manager right out of high school.
Okay.
I don't know that it was what it was before that.
Yeah.
But.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I got these shoes as part of a buy from another reseller, Red Robin reseller, actually.
Yep. She's saying some great stuff.
I got these things from Robin and her husband with the beautiful blue eyes, Joe.
Mm-hmm. Dreamy-eyed Joe.
Dreamy-eyed Joe. So I just got these listed maybe a week or so ago. And the sale price, I believe, was between $7 and $10 is what I paid for a bulk of items that I purchased. I just can't remember exactly, but let's say I paid $10 for them.
Mm-hmm. And they sold for, boom,
$79.95.
Not too bad. She sent you a lot of like really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I was able to see what I purchased from her though.
Yeah,
like it was not a blind.
I know, but you have bought stuff from people where you saw the pictures and when you got them, you weren't as excited about.
You are correct. You are correct. Yes, so, I was very happy with everything I purchased from Robin.
Yeah. All right. Next up for me is this awesome Rolling Stones T-shirt, 1989 Steel Wheels North American Tour T-shirt. I got this. I think this was one of the last things that I got from yesterday's fits when they were still selling off stuff out of their old location. I went through a whole bunch of stuff that was like, I remember this shirt was kind of yellowed, and I actually gave it the old bleach treatment, and it came out looking really good. But you can see like how thin the material is, because you can see my the black mannequin right through the T-shirt. Just really, really thin. There's a little bit of a hole right there. Just worn and faded. Like, see how thin that is? Like, it's that really soft material. But just a really, really, really cool shirt. But yeah, so I think I paid like $30, maybe 40 tops. I don't think he charged me like a huge amount because it was kind of stained. I bought like a whole bunch of stuff on that particular day. But so I've had this for a little while, since later 2019. And let's see what I sold it for, guys. I think you're gonna be, I mean, it's no John Travolta,
right,
guys? It's no John Travolta, but it was 10% off. So it actually went for $269.99. Woo! And so I was super stoked about it, because I was like, what is this I just sold for $270? And we actually did a little, because they live in like LA, so we were like doing a little Google Maps stalking. Sometimes it's fun to see like where people live that buy your stuff from you, and it was like this gated community in LA, and I was like, all right, cool. Anyway, I'm actually pretty excited because I picked up a couple of Rolling Stones t-shirts in the last couple of weeks that I have not listed yet, vintage ones. So I think one's from 1989 and the other one's like a 94 one. So I'm actually pretty excited, especially after getting this big sale right here. But woo, 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 woo. So didn't quite beat your top sale of the week, but
no, you did not. But do you ever?
Not usually. Not usually. I usually top out at like $250 generally. All right, next one for you.
Let's see. I think I've just got 2 more Etsy sales to show you here. And because I don't have a haul, I know we're doing a lot of solds, but it's because I don't have a haul. Yeah. So
I mean, this is like almost better than a haul because you get to see like this thing that you got and then what you actually sold it for. So
I can't remember what I paid for these. Nowhere near $10. It was definitely $10 or under. I've had them for quite a while, though. I will say I've probably had these for a year or the better part of a year. Vintage Guess. I love Vintage Guess. You can see, look at the narrow pegged ankles. Small, like most vintage 80s clothing.
Geez.
They're 28-inch, size 28 women's. They actually work out to be like a current size 4, 5. That's pretty much what they measure to be. They're tiny, teeny tiny mom jeans. So as I said, I paid less than $10 for them, and they sold for
There you go.
$139.95 plus shipping.
What?
They went to France, actually, and my buyer asked me a few questions about them before purchasing, and I'm pretty excited. They sold for the full price you see there. I've had them at every price imaginable on eBay, between sales and offers to buyers and things like that, but I've never had anybody come close to a price. I probably would have sold them for around $70 or $75 had I gotten offers that high, but yeah, I was pretty happy.
Nice. All right, next one for me. This one isn't like a crazy good sale, but I just wanted to I wanted to show a couple of good Grailed sales, and this is actually one that went to Canada. That's why you see it says $47 is like crossed out, and then it went for $59. Anyway, so this went to Canada, went to Ontario to be exact, and it's just a nice. I like it. You know, I pick up any of these sweatshirts for professional teams, college teams. They seem to do well, whether it's basketball or football or hockey. And this is just a nice sweatshirt, I think. Nice blue. Making noise over there?
No, I'm not.
You fidgeting?
I'm going to answer Tommy's question. What makes it a mom jean? It's an expression for jeans from the 80s and 90s that are high-waisted. They usually pleated in the front, and they make the butt of the jeans are really long. High-waisted, I mean by that I mean up over your belly button.
Yeah.
And it makes the rise really high above your hips and a long butt. So if you remember the 80s and 90s, they don't look good on anybody, to be fair. That mom jean only looks good on tiny women.
It looks good on a very specific body type.
You don't have to be tall, but tall and slim is really what it looks good on. But a lot of the younger kids, younger girls and younger kids like that style, and they tend to they're cutting them into shorts, or they're rolling them up and cuffing them at the ankles, just like how we wore them back then. But yeah, traditional jeans from the 80s and 90s, high-waisted, long butt pockets, high rise, and tapered ankles are pretty much what a mom jean would be.
Would you consider Levi's 501's mom jeans?
Yeah, originals.
Yeah, especially the women's. There's ones that are made specifically for women's, and they say on the tag. I think that those are slightly different in how they are.
They're made differently. Sure,
and those ones especially are more like mom jeans. Anyway, all right. Let's see. Yeah. So again, nothing crazy exciting about this other than just Vikki had like 500 million sales that she wanted me to show, and we go back and forth. So, but still, I think I got a good price on this. I think this particular one, at the most, I paid like $10 for it. Sold for $59, but then probably it cost me like what, $13, maybe $12 to send it to Canada. So not too bad. All right, next or last one for you.
This is the last one for me. This was something I'd up. I can't remember if I got it at a Savers or a garage sale. I honestly don't remember. It is a vintage 70s drum lamp, but as you can see, it was missing a lot of the wood on these pieces. So I went back and forth a few times with the customer. They're wanting to know if they were able to use it as a table lamp, if they refigured the, shortened the wire and all that kind of stuff. And they wanted to put it in a corner, which would have hidden where the missing wood goes perfectly. And yes, those things could be done. So we talked about that. So I lowered the price for them a little bit. I had it priced a little high. Had there been no issues, I think I could have easily gotten $200 for this, but the lamp did have issues. It was missing the wood, as you can see, in a few places. So I sold it for $95 plus shipping, and the buyer's pretty happy.
Yeah, it's a cool lamp.
I went to New York. We had a little conversation back and forth. They live in New York City, in Brooklyn, in an apartment, and they were asked about my health and vice versa, and we went back and forth a little bit. It was a nice little online conversation. So yeah.
Very cool. All right. Last one for me is this. I
remember this one.
Yay! Is this Grailed sale. And this t-shirt is actually one I found in the wild. It was after I'd already been buying regularly from Yesterday's Fits, but Vikki wanted to go to Savers. And so we went to this. This one actually came from Tropicana. And it's like I'll find some cool stuff at Savers sometimes, but you're never going to find vintage band tees from the 80s. I mean, come on, it's just not going to happen. And so I remember when I was going through, and
our stores are too busy for that. They get picked.
Yeah, I mean, it must have just gone out.
It's not that they don't have them there. It's that the slim chance of you finding it before someone else is
right. Exactly. Exactly. So when I pulled this out, I was like, what in the what? And I mean, it was priced, I think I paid like $3 for it. It was ridiculous. So I was pretty excited about it. It didn't sell right away. I mean, obviously that was from a handful of months ago. But somebody, I had it set up to, I don't remember if they made an offer or what the deal was. I think they made an offer. I think we went back and forth a couple times actually. And we settled on 108. And I'm like, you know what? I'm happy with that, to get $108 out of this t-shirt. It was pretty tiny, pretty small. In fact, we can look at the measurements. Yeah, 18.5 inches across the chest. It's only 24 inches in length. So it's a pretty tiny shirt. So making $108 off of it, I was pretty happy with. So just a cool t-shirt. But anyway, that does it for our
that does it for my portion of the show.
Yeah, you want to go take a nap or something?
I might,
you want to do a little Facebooking while I talk?
Yep, I might. I probably will.
Don't you do it. I will throw that phone over the balcony, down the stairs so fast. Anyway, guys. All right. So like I said, I went to Yesterday's Fits. It was so nice to be able to spend a little money. Both of us have been so careful about like not spending too much, especially at the beginning of this whole thing, because just not really being sure what sales were going to look like and stuff like that. But we realized like not only were our sales like they were down, especially at first, and especially for me for quite a bit, but I think we really underestimated how much money we spent when we were able to go out. When you think about it, like not just sourcing, but going out to eat, stuff like that. It all adds up so fast because, I spent probably $50 a week, close to $40, $50 a week on gas. Not spending that. Not going out to eat. Not
going out and having a few beers with friends.
Right. Not going to do any gambling. We're not doing anything. And so it's like
more money to put in the bank or buy inventory.
Yeah, so this last week was like the first time where I was like, I really felt comfortable, like I need to make a big purchase. And so I let Jesse know, I'm like, hey, are you going to be around? Can I come in? I want to do a big buy. So I did get a number of things, but some of the stuff I have here are also, I think I have a few items in here that I got from other people. But I'll just go ahead and show some of the stuff. I think they're talking about doing some more reseller boxes coming up soon. Yeah, so I asked them if they wanted to do some. Their 3-year anniversary is coming up on, I believe, the 17th of May. They want to do a big sale on their site, and one of the things that we're interested in maybe doing is some reseller boxes with that. So I'm hoping that we're going to do that. So sometime in the next, before that happens, he wants me to come in and help them put those together. So yeah, I will definitely help with that. But here's one thing Quit Facebooking. Put it away. Put it away. Pretend like you're interested in what I have going on. I would like to point out, guys, I do a lot of this. Oh, that's cool. And this is Vikki. Look at my cool jacket.
I've already seen it.
I know, but it's on the show. Do some acting. Jeez. Pay attention to me. Anyway, look at this sweet. This is, I'm sure, 80s, right? I love these Style Auto cafe racer racing jackets, and this particular one has a sweet Ferrari thing right there. What do you think? You like that? Here, I'll put this over here, and then you can see what people are saying in the chat. How about that? All right, you guys can. So here's what I got for you guys. I'm going to show some stuff, and people in the chat. Let's see who can make the best comment to keep Vikki entertained and engaged. Make her giggle. See if you can make her laugh. Let's see if one of you guys can make her snort. She does it. It's happened before. You never know.
It's usually Allison that makes me laugh.
Usually Allison?
Yeah. But that's my favorite item that you purchased this past week.
Are you sure about this one?
Well, that was like
I know. I haven't shown them to them yet. Show them to them. Anyway, this is a Cubs starter jacket. Made in the USA, vintage starter jacket. It's very nice, nice condition, and it's a good size too. I think it's an extra large. It's in really good condition. I think I ended up paying like $50 for this. What are you making those faces at? Somebody saying something to you? Is it Britton? Britton,
I'm ignoring
close, but no snorting has happened. Anyway, I paid $50 for this, but I should be able to. I haven't looked up any of the comps for this particular team, but I've regularly sold these jackets for anywhere from $150 to over $200. But I'll have to see what how this one does.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, so I bought this from actually somebody who watches the show. I bought a little bundle from her, and she wanted to get rid of a bunch of men's stuff out of her store. And so this is one of the things I got. Now, I don't usually, for the most part, buy button-down T-shirts, but occasionally, if it's something really good, I will. And this is super, super cool. This is like a button-down kind of Western shirt, but it's Looney Tunes. So you got Bugs Bunny on there.
90s Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny. There's Roadrunner. There's
Daffy Duck.
Wile E. Coyote. It's just a really cool button-down shirt. And one of the reasons I want to show this, other than the fact it's just a really cool shirt, you notice this is kind of like a light beige. It did have, it looked great when I got it, and then I saw that there was some discoloration on it, like a little bit of staining. I was like, you know what? F it. I threw this in with the whites and bleached it, and it came out sparkling clean.
Oh, it's a great shirt.
Yeah, and it didn't hurt it or anything, but it's just a really cool shirt. I haven't listed that one yet. I'm really interested because it says Looney Tunes Western Collection by Carmen. So I don't know.
Carmen is a popular brand of clothing from the 90s too. You might want to look that might be
well, yes,
more.
I'm definitely gonna look it up. That's
because of the
like a special collection.
Yeah, the cross collab.
The cross collab. All right, guys, I haven't heard any snorting yet. So
no snorting.
Come on. Oh, Britton has another good one.
That was not a good one. I ignored it because it wasn't a good one. Nope.
What?
Sorry, no.
I like it.
Yeah, but no.
It's funny. You're looking it up for me?
Yep.
All right. So this is one of the things I got from yesterday's fits this week. With Harley t-shirts, there's tons and tons and tons of Harley t-shirts out there. But some of the vintage stuff goes for a lot, especially 3D emblems. But how often do you see a 3D emblem sweatshirt? Now, this is a Harley 3D emblem sweatshirt. I've seen the same graphic on one of the 3D emblem t-shirts, but this is on a sweatshirt. So I have not researched this. I don't know if there are comps. I don't know if any others have sold like this. I don't know if there's any other sweatshirts listed. But in my mind, that actually is a huge selling point because you don't see as many sweatshirts as you do the t-shirts. The t-shirts are everywhere. So I was actually pretty excited about this. I think I paid $40 for this, if I remember correctly. I definitely paid up for quite a bit of things. What'd you find?
I found that that shirt will probably sell for the neighborhood of $40 based on the other comps, but there aren't very many of them. So I still think you can sell it for.
I'll sell it for 100
more. Yeah, that's how I feel.
I don't really listen.
I don't listen to comps.
I don't listen. So
Britain, I don't know why you're not a dad because you have a lot of dad jokes.
To whoever stole, to whoever stole my copy of Microsoft Office, I will find you. You have my word.
I'm not sure if that is a Mitch Hedberg joke.
So there's a little bit of Hedberg in it.
Very Hedberg-ish. It's also very. I'm trying to think of what else it could have been.
That's pretty funny. Anyway, so I was at yesterday's Fits. Remember how when we went and we got to go through all of the laundry bags?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're just staring at me.
Yeah, no, I was trying to
picture the laundry bags. Anyway, we went through all the laundry bags and we found some cool stuff. Well, there was this giant bag, huge like leaf bag, and it was tied off. And I'm like, is that one of those laundry bags? And Jesse was like, yeah. And I'm like, can I look through it? He's like, yeah. So I went through it. For the most part, there wasn't really anything that was that exciting. But the one thing that I pulled out that I was excited about was, speaking of Champion reverse weaves, this is an Ohio State vintage, probably 80s, maybe early 90s.
Did you just get it just now?
Yeah, I got it this last week.
But we found it a few months ago?
No. When I was at yesterday's Fits this week, I saw a giant bag. And I said, is that one of those laundry bags?
Gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you meant when we went through.
No.
You said, do you remember when we went through
Yes.
them?
And so I said, is that one of those laundry bags? And so it was one that we did not go through. Anyway, this was one of the ones I took out. I did wash it. I didn't see any stains on it. It didn't particularly smell bad, but I went ahead and washed it. And it's in great shape. Just a really cool, I would say 80s reverse weave, Champion reverse weave made in the USA. So we can get that up in there. And again, the reverse weave, you can see based on the construction of it, it's got the side panel right here where the fabric goes in the opposite direction.
It doesn't show very well.
Well, you can just shut your yap. You're not being very supportive of me today.
I didn't make the resolution on the screen.
You sassy. What was Allison had to say there?
Allison used the wrong bathroom.
Now I was really excited about this this Adidas.
Yeah, see, that sounds like a Mitch Hedberg one too.
Which one?
I agree. Jamie Brown, the frozen banana jokes.
Oh yeah. Anyway, I think this is a really cool. It almost makes me think of like
I like that one,
like a Freddy Krueger streetwear sweatshirt. And see, I
laugh.
didn't get a snort out of her, but I got a laugh. Anyway, this is an Adidas sweatshirt. I believe it's 80s, and it's you can see right there. There's a tag. You can kind of see it. There you go. 80s. Now this was there's no stains on it, but it was so pilly. It was covered in pills. You saw it. It was like covered in pills. It took me a little while, but I used the good old sweater shaver, cleaned it all right up, and it looks nice. Looks pretty nice.
It does kind of look like Freddy Krueger couture,
right?
Streetwear.
Ooh, I should put that like in my keywords, at least on Etsy, not on eBay. Freddy Krueger couture. What do you think, Sandra? Freddy Krueger couture? I think it's pretty dope. All right, couple things. I got a sweatshirt here. Oliver Prince. We talk about Oliver Prince. Oliver Prince. Oliver Prince. Cha 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 cha. Oliver Prince.
Trying too hard.
Oliver Prince. You want to be excused?
I like the Royce joke. That one would have made me laugh if I hadn't been Oliver Princed.
I like your rice joke. That one's pretty amusing. Your rice joke.
Well, okay. I mean, Mitch Hedberg does have a very dry delivery. Did.
Don't try to act like your response to jokes is because you're being like Mitch Hedberg. Anyway, this all over print football sweatshirt. As far as I can tell, it doesn't look like it's any particular team. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. But it's just a vintage 90s all over print.
That one's pretty cool.
Sweatshirt. I really like it. And again, I bleached this sucker. So I'm telling you guys, you'd be surprised at this kind of stuff that you can bleach and not damage it.
I never got to see him, Britt, but he was supposed to be a performer for one of my charity benefits, and he died 3 months before. So unfortunately, I never got to see him, but I would have liked to.
Yeah. All right. So this is one that you were.
I seriously am. See, Tommy got it. Poor Vikki. She's like the child at someone else's birthday party.
But that's where
watching them open presents. That
I would like to point out, guys, though, that when Vikki's showing her stuff, that I'm telling you, for the most part, A, I've seen all of it before. B, it's not even stuff that I care to sell myself. But you know what I do? I go, oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that was a good buy.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Every time. And then she's like over here going, oh, yeah, I like your rice choke. Ooh. That rice choke was pretty funny.
That's a good one. I saw this wino. He was eating grapes. It's like, dude, you have to wait.
Wah, wah, wah. Okay, you like this one?
I do.
Maybe I should start like not showing you my stuff until we're actually. Of course, she usually looks pretty bored when I show it to her the first time.
It's not. I was gonna say, it's not like I'm taking this out of context. Is this new?
I'm saying, be a generous lover.
Really?
You jack off. Anyway, you were a little jealous of this one, though.
I am jealous of this one. Is Kelly in the chat today? Kelly would want this.
This Rick Springfield, living in Oz.
I like the cut off sleeve look.
Yeah, I like the back graphic. Living in Oz World Tour 1983 in fabulous condition. Got this from yesterday's fits. You know how much Jesse charged me for this one?
Jesse's girl.
What?
What he charged you for?
He only charged me. I only had to pay $20 for this one, so not too bad. A lot of times with band tees, I pay up a little more, but $20, not
That's a good
bad deal. I'll have to go and look and see because I had that other one that I sold. I don't remember how much I sold it for. At least like $150, didn't I?
I don't remember, but I like the Rick Springfield.
You like the Rick Springfield as much as you like jokes about rice?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Cool, man. Cool. Cool, man. Cool. This one right here, I definitely paid up for this one. I paid like $40 for this one. But this is a WCW NWO wrestling t-shirt from 1998. Wrestling t-shirt. It's in pretty much like brand new condition. It's the
it's crispy.
Rules are for fools, y'all.
We've got over 200 people watching right now. 217 people watching.
Anyway, this shirt should sell for at least $150, I believe. It's a great size, nice wrestling tee.
Wrestling. What's on the back?
Sorry, there's nothing on the back. Oh. Nice wrestling tee. It's going to probably go to somebody who likes to watch wrestling and maybe is also a juggalo. They'll probably like it too. You know.
Juggalo wrestler.
Yeah, you know.
Are you gonna put juggalo in the keywords?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think ICP and no, I don't think it goes. I like the style of this shirt.
I'm sorry, but if you're an ICP fan, you probably are a wrestling fan too.
You think?
I'm just saying. I think there's probably a lot of overlap. I think that Venn diagram has a lot of overlap on it.
That Venn diagram. Wow,
yeah.
Look at you, fancy.
Oh, I impressed her with my fancy words. She's impressed, you guys. Can't believe it. Oh, I made it through another day.
Oh, Jesus. I can't take much more.
I only have like 40 left.
Oh, for frick's sake. Excuse me. I'll be back after I go jump off the roof or something.
Let's be honest, you're not jumping anything. How high can you jump?
I'm gonna kill her. This might be a solo show come Wednesday.
She was telling her friends that we were gonna come use their pool and they weren't home, and she was gonna jump the wall. And I was like, I don't see that happening, but you can get yourself a little step ladder.
I said I'd bring a ladder.
Okay. How are you gonna get over the other side?
I don't know yet. I haven't figured that out.
You didn't put a lot.
Throw it over.
Anyway, this is a fantastic 1986 Alabama t-shirt. So this is a baseball tee. I actually cut the sleeves off myself because one of the sleeves when I picked it up, Jesse was like, "Oh, that's dry rot," and I'm like, "No, that can't be dry rot because it's a 50-50 cotton poly blend." And when you find dry rot in t-shirts, it's pretty much exclusively black t-shirts that are 100% cotton. So it's usually like early mid 90s t-shirts. So it just happened that it was like all ripped up on this one sleeve. I don't know why. So I just went ahead and after consulting with Victoria, and she said, "Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea." I went ahead and I did it, and I actually think it turned out pretty well. I think it's cute. So yeah, so 1986
sleeves cut,
Alabama. Yeehaw! You got the touch.
See, Martha said, "Now you're fighting with Jesse." See, she just wants to be argumentative. I tell you,
I was helping him. Because I don't know if he knows about dry rot, obviously, but I don't know if he knows that it's got to be 100% cotton. So I've never seen it in a blend. It's something to do with the
do a little Google about dry rot and clothing, Tommy. It'll explain it rather than us take 10 minutes to explain it all for you.
Oh no, I got 10 minutes.
No.
Okay,
move on. Move on.
It's always just really, really quick. Shut your mouth.
For fuck's sake, she doesn't know how to say anything really,
Shut your
really
mouth.
quick.
Dry rot, it's always dead stock. So if you get really excited and you find dead stock t-shirts from the 90s that are black, you want to do a rip test because if it's dry rot, it'll just tear like paper. So you just want to be cautious of that. See how fast that was? I almost pulled a muscle in my neck.
That's what happens. That's what you get.
I was a little more careful in my last turn there. It could have been bad. All right, I'll skip that one. All right. How do you feel about this one though?
I like that one.
That was pretty cool. So this one actually, you know where they got this from?
No.
Adrian.
My Adrian?
Glam Babe.
Oh, that Glam Babe.
What Adrian are you talking about?
Dreads. Another Adrian friend.
Okay. Anyway, a friend of ours actually traded this into yesterday's fits to get like a bunch of other stuff to resell. But this is a 1987 Def Leppard Hysteria tour. But what's nice about this t-shirt, and don't worry, I washed it so it's clean. You can let it touch you. What's nice about this t-shirt, it's actually a bigger size. And I actually had the same one or similar one in white. But this one, you don't see it in these bigger sizes. This is an XL. So it's a nice big size. It's in really, really nice condition.
It will actually fit the majority of their fans now that used to wear it extra small in the 80s. And now they're, I speak from experience.
For sure. So this is, it just was a really good score. But I think I paid
1987.
I think I paid like at least 40 for it, maybe 50. But
a good one.
I should be able to sell it. I'll have to look again at comps, but I should be able to sell it for at least a couple $100. So let me just skip a couple of things. So speaking of Rolling Stones, here's the other Rolling Stones t-shirt that I got.
Wheels Up.
So that other t-shirt that I sold for the t-shirt I sold for $270 was a 1989 Steel Wheels tour t-shirt. So this is from the same tour.
Different shirt.
But just a different shirt, different design. But it is in great condition. And so I'm hoping I can sell it for, I don't know if I'll be able to sell it for as much, but I'm hoping I can get a couple $100 out of it. I think I paid like, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks for it. I bought a lot of stuff, so.
Is that one from Barry?
Huh? No, that was part of my yesterday's fit stuff. So again, like I said earlier, I did pick up another Jordan t-shirt because like I said, it's selling like crazy because of that show. So I got this cool caricature one. Let me see if there's anything worth looking at. And sorry guys, I'm just looking through this real quick, see if there's anything. Last couple of things I got from Barry. I had bought a bunch of Western t-shirts. These are the ones that I thought were pretty cool. It's Alan Jackson, Who Am I, 1994 t-shirt.
Actually, I saw that tour.
I was gonna say, you were an Alan Jackson fan, weren't you?
Yeah, I was into the country in the 90s because rock went into the crapper.
Yeah. If I had money, I tell you what I'd do. I'd go downtown, buy a Mercury or two. Crazy about a Mercury. Oh, I'm crazy about a Mercury.
I don't know if it's that album, but yep, that's
that
era.
That was 90s Alan Jackson. Close enough. And then I got a couple of sweet Merle Haggard t-shirts. This one's from 1994. Merle Haggard.
I did not see Merle.
The legend continues. Nice double-sided Merle Haggard. This one's from 94. And then I have this other one that I believe is from like 2001.
I do have to say, I think I would like a hot pink straight jacket and a sparkle helmet, please.
Oh, you're going to wear that? Nice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right. That's pretty much it. I won't make you look at it anymore.
That's it? You're done?
What was that face?
That's all?
You went, that's it? I was really getting warmed up.
I was getting
so warmed up with my general disdain.
I
had so much more to go. I had so much more to go. You jerk. Yeah, Chattahoochee is a good song. Anyway, guys, so yeah, I mean, I have a bunch left, but it's nothing that's like super crazy exciting.
You feel like Katy was definitely in theater. I wonder what gave you that idea. She's not over dramatic at all. I have no idea what you mean.
I have to listen. I have to bring up the energy when I've got rice loving, joke loving Vikki over here. Do you ever hate me? Always.
Frequently.
Anyway, guys, what do you have going on for the rest of your day?
I am listing, and I'm about to bring in those 3 boxes of 128 pounds of inventory to go through.
I'm gonna sit while you open it and do
Kimberly wants to know, is she like that all the time? Yes.
No.
Yes, Kimberly. Yes, she is.
I'm a little bit more animated when I'm doing the show, but I am gonna sit there and watch you unbox it, and I'm gonna do this.
Nobody said you had to watch it all.
She usually is in the other room and she's like, come see what I got. Come see what I got. So don't act like you don't care. Don't act like you don't care. Yeah, I'm going to do some listing. I'm going to get me a sody, do some listing. And that's probably what the rest of my day is going to look like. I don't know. That's about it. I'm pretty excited, though, because I just got a TV set up in my office.
Oh, Martha asked, was it free shipping? No, it was not. It was from California. Yeah. I had 128 pounds over 3 boxes. The shipping was $167, I believe it was. It's either 137 or 167. Sorry, I have it written down, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But so it was that much was the shipping plus what I paid for the items.
Yeah.
So all clothing, Jamie. Yeah. All clothing. So it ends up, by the time I'm done listing the items, item cost plus the shipping cost plus my $3 per item listing that I cost that I pay my lister, it ends up costing me about $7. What did we say? About $7.50 per item, something like that. Cost of goods.
Yeah.
So it's a little high.
It is,
but I have no other options right now. So
but what value do you put on your time? Because it's saving you a lot of time. And you can work on other stuff. Of course, it sucks right now because in normal times you would be out.
I would be out getting
more hard goods and being able to list items.
Right. I'd be getting as many items through hard goods if I were sourcing myself, but that's not, obviously possible right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully in a few more weeks we can get back.
Yeah.
Jamie, I mean, $7.50 per item. Considering time and sourcing, yes, it is good. They're not super high dollar items. That's the main difference. I don't generally sell items for $30 or less than $30. And a lot of the items that I've picked up in this manner, the average sale price is going to be around $30. Yeah. So for me, that's not much. That's not a high enough ROI. But for now, not having an option to get anything, it's not bad.
Yeah.
My average sale price, like I like to keep somewhere around $60. So if I were selling these items consistently for $60 for $7 all in, absolutely worth it. Yeah. But a lot of these are in that $30 price range.
So Noelle says, in Katy's family, they don't hide crazy. They put them on the front porch and give them a cocktail.
That's right. Absolutely.
Word. And speaking of my family, my nephew, Isaac, just got married yesterday. Mm-hmm. He is my oldest nephew. I have one sibling, my sister, and he is her oldest child. So when I was still in high school when he was born, I was there when I was in the delivery room, watched him be born. Mm-hmm. He's my little nugget. I was around a lot for his childhood, helped a lot with raising him at different times early in his life. Anyway, he's a big strapping lad now, 24 years old. Just got done with the Marines a couple of years ago, and anyway, he just got married yesterday. They've got a baby on the way. We were supposed to go to the wedding. The date had been set before everything went into lockdown, and so we had every intention. We thought it was before everything kind of got scary, and so we thought we were going to be going back to Oregon for this wedding, and obviously it couldn't happen. They were going to postpone it, and then they realized who knows when they were going to be able to do it. And you know what? She wanted to be able to wear a wedding dress and not be super pregnant. And so, but yeah, she's pregnant with my my grandnephew.
Your great nephew.
My great nephew.
No, not great, not grand. Great.
It's like a grandson, grandnephew.
No, it's not the way it works.
I'm going to call it a grandnephew. He's grand.
Yep, our wedding has been canceled for this year as well.
Yeah.
So we postponed it last year to this year, and now it has been canceled this year as well.
Keep kicking the can down the road, guys.
We'll eventually get married.
Yeah. But anyway, so there's a little baby on the way, and so I'm hoping that December we'll be able to go back to Oregon. I want to see my grandma, who's 93 now. But I also want to see this little baby when he's born, because he's probably going to be the cutest little tiny nugget ever. So I'm excited about that. But there's a new
You keep saying he.
Yeah, it's a boy.
They know it's a boy already?
Yes, they know it's a boy already.
I didn't know that.
And it's good because I told Isaac, I said, don't you disappoint me. I want a boy. And so he followed through. So
our wedding was supposed to be in October again this year, and we've had to postpone it. Basically because all the venues are still closed. There's no way to plan anything.
Yeah.
And the venues are going to be closed in Rhode Island, which is where we were going to do it. So
yeah.
Thrifts are not open here yet in Vegas. We're still in phase 0. If all goes well and the numbers keep going down, we should have them opened, I believe. I'm not sure if we're going to be phase 1 or phase 2 as far as thrift stores being open up, but we should be in phase 1 in 2 weeks, in 2 more weeks. And then we should be, then 3 weeks after that moves to phase 2 if phase 1 stays as it should. So our thrifts are either opening in 2 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah. But we are considering, we're weighing the pros and cons, but we are considering escaping and going to Arizona at the end of the month to do some thrifting. We'll see. We
might drive to Arizona
and
and
super
do that.
Careful and do it. But I see Susan says something about Oregon being on lockdown until July 6th. I will say my understanding of that is it's not a lockdown. That's actually just the state of emergency that's being extended until July 6th. And that has a lot to do with what kind of funding that they are allowed to be eligible for.
It still keeps it in emergency fund, emergency funding state.
Yes. And so every, I think 6 weeks, they have to kind of re-up their emergency declaration. And so but I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, now we're on lockdown until July 6th. I do not believe that does not necessarily mean that you will be on lockdown until then. So hopefully not. Anyway. But yeah, so I guess.
Yeah, the thrifts are open in Arizona. They opened a few days ago. So, or at least.
Are they all open or is it just Goodwill?
I'm not sure, but I know that they've been open for a week or so. So I didn't want to be there first day anyway. So it looks like we'll probably go at the end of the month for a couple of days.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how the next couple of weeks play out because you never know with the way things have been going. There's been big changes in short periods of time. So we want to make sure that we're safe.
Kara asked, why not consider getting married? Yeah, I have many friends that are ordained. Dana is not anywhere near the first or only. Yeah. I'm not interested in doing it unless it's the way we want it done.
Yeah. The only other possibility that we've talked about, there's no hurry. We already are together. We already live together. There's no big rush. The only other thing that we have considered is doing a destination wedding because we had talked about getting married and then going on our honeymoon to Italy. And so we've actually been contemplating like eventually in another year, whenever it's going to be, basically making the Italy trip, our honeymoon trip, our wedding trip all wrapped up in one and getting married there as well. So, and then just coming back for a party or something. So we really don't know. It's like,
we've had to postpone it now twice to the point where it's like, we don't really know what we're going to do. We're not interested in like, I really want my parents to be there if they can be. So we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. We're not going anywhere. I mean, she's stuck with me. Clearly, I'm
True.
stuck with her.
I
So
sold my car to you guys. What else am I gonna do?
yeah. Yeah, we can always elope to Vegas. Yeah, let's just elope a mile away. We're in Vegas.
Yeah.
There's no eloping. I did elope to Vegas once already, by the way. So that's the other reason why that won't be happening.
Didn't stick, guys. It didn't stick.
15 years, 14, 13 years. Wasn't horrible.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm good.
You're good.
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing.
Nobody made you snort.
Nope. You guys didn't bring it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow. 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 Throwing insults. So rude. Britt, if you're still here, I'm sorry. Sorry she's so mean.
Yeah, that's me.
Anyway.
A destination wedding in Indiana. Yeah, no, Jen, sorry. As much as I can't wait to meet you someday, honey, I don't think that'll be the case.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We appreciate you guys all coming and hanging out with us and watching me do my haul while Vikki
Rolled her eyes.
breathes heavily.
I appreciate the jokes.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you all trying to make us laugh, and hopefully we make you guys laugh sometimes. And thanks for coming in, watching, and hanging out with us on a Sunday again. And hopefully I'll have some stuff for a haul next week. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Someday.
Anyway, guys, we appreciate you. We will see you on Wednesday, and come hang out in the boss group with us. We're always around. And Sandra, just hold on to your pants. I'm going to get that sweet, sweet Nickelback article posted so that you can see exactly why scientifically Nickelback is the worst band of all time. All right?
All right. Hashtag
don't be
a dick.